time I'm crutchless and walking. Delighted, absolutely delighted. I'm still using crutches. I've been again putting more weight through the foot over the past week since the last fracture clinic appointment, and recently I've been doing small amounts of walking without crutches. As you can see, I'm still limping slightly. It's still a slightly unnatural walk, so rather than just doing this continuously, I'm quite flat-footed. I utilise the crutches to get the right plane of movement, really, the right heel to toe strike, but I do occasionally walk without them just around the house, mainly just to start strengthening the leg, trying to build a little bit of base muscle to the chicken leg, which I often refer to. So that's all really. I'm going to keep progressing with that, keep pushing hard. At physio today I was on the exercise bike, so that was good to do a bit of cardio, but that's pretty much it in terms of what the update is for this week. This video is actually about meal preparation, preparing meals in bulk in advance for the next day, just to ensure that you stay on track. Now, I'm an advocate personally that you don't have to pre-plan your meals. If you have an understanding of good nutrition, good healthy food choices, you can fit your macros accordingly by perhaps going out, getting something from the supermarket. But this video will help those that do like to prepare their food at home and to ensure they know exactly what's going in the food. The first thing that you need to think about when preparing your meals is first how long you're going to be away from the house for, how many meals that's going to require, and the quantities that you need. So what I normally do is write down what I'll require, which makes it easier to ensure that I've got sufficient amounts of food to make use of. So what you have here, when I cook in bulk, I usually go away from the meal plan. What I like to do is get a variety of ingredients, variety of aminos through different protein sources. So normally if I'm at home, I'll be having chicken, turkey, tuna all in the same day. When I'm out, instead of doing that, which requires a lot more preparation, I keep it simple. K.I.S.S, keep it simple, stupid. It's true. So what I'm going to do, I've worked out that I'm going to be preparing 3 meals for tomorrow because I'll be out pretty much all day. So instead of messing around, I've simply got around 400 grams of turkey that I'm going to cook in bulk. I then have carbohydrates, so this is one big sweet potato. I'm just going to cook this up, and this will actually be 3 portions. There's about 600 grams here, so I'll chop it up and then cook it. And then finally, for each meal, just to get a slight variety of aminos in, and just for taste and a few healthy fats, I'm going to cook an egg. Okay, so really simple, not including the veg, which I'll prepare a little later. We have 3 meals here, really just one big meal. I'm going to prepare it as one big meal and then just divide it into 3 lots. That's probably the secret to it, rather than have 1 serving of rice, 1 serving of quinoa, 1 serving of sweet potato. Just keep it simple. Get your carb sources through 1 source, get your protein from 1 source, get a nice mixture of veg and fats, or protein as well, from 1 source. Keep it simple. Another easy way just to ensure that everything's speeded up and you're not, slaving in the kitchen for hours. This sweet potato is going to go into the oven. So make sure that you preheat the oven and allow that just to heat up while we prepare our other bits and pieces. So first things first, I've put out all the turkey. As you can see, it's a lot here, enough for 3 meals. All I'm going to do is simply add some spice. So before I cook it, a bit of paprika, some ground ginger. The more spice you add, it just spices up the food, gives it a nice flavour. and it just enhances everything about the meal. It can be quite bland just eating turkey, sweet potato and veg. So what this does, a bit of Chinese spice here, lovely condiment to add to it. It just spruces things up, makes it a bit more exciting rather than just having, you know, plain dry turkey. So once all my spices are added, I will simply cook it all in bulk on one of the most important aspects of any fitness professional's kitchen. Here you are, it's the lean, mean, fat grilling machine. Any grilling machine will do. It's so easy, just 2 hot plates, really nice and hot, allow it to warm up. We've got our meat here, and it's simple to do. We literally bundle it on and then just spread it all out evenly, just to ensure that it cooks. So you can buy anything like this at any major sort of household appliance store, and it really is fantastic. You can just forget about your meat, get it on, get it shut up, and with good spice on it, it really does enhance the flavour and make for a truly exceptional bite to eat. So I know exactly what I've got here, about 400 grams, a little over, of turkey. So I'm going to shut it up. We then, once it's cooked, just divide it up into 3 portions, and we're laughing. So that goes down, give it a little push, just have something to drop the fat off, and we can now go and prepare our sweet potato. Right, it's back and forth today. So what we've got now is our sweet potato. Whilst our turkey is cooking, we need to prepare this. So what I recommend to speed up the process is to cut into really small chunks, rather than putting it in the oven like this in its whole state, which will take probably years to cook, and cut it up and get it cooking a lot quicker. Roughly get the same, you know, size pieces to ensure that they all cook about the same time, and literally the more you chop them up, the better. So it's all prepared, it's all chopped up into pretty even pieces. It's now going to go into the oven probably for about 20 minutes or so, and again, I know exactly, you know, there's about 4 portions here because I'm actually having a meal as I prepare this. So that's going to be about 800 grams of sweet potato here, which I'll then divide evenly after. So this is going in the oven, and then we can check on the turkey. So we're back with our turkey. That's been on for a few minutes now, and as you can see, it's all pretty much cooked. So what we're going to do is just remove it from the foreman and pop it into our bowl. And be careful when you're removing it because it is quite hot. I'm trying to be manly and show it can be done, but deep down I am in a whole world of pain. So once we've got it off, a quick recommendation on the plate, I would recommend washing that instantly, just with a bit of a damp cloth, just because it becomes bloody difficult to get it removed, all the stickiness, if you leave it to cool. So we've now got all our meat for our 3 meals, so that can be put on the side, and I shall get boiling the eggs. As you can see, the sweet potato is cooking nicely, and what we have here are the 3 boiled eggs to complement our meals. They're boiling away and will require probably 8 minutes to be hard boiled, with a slight gooey middle. This is all done. We've got our turkey. It doesn't look particularly appetising, but I do promise it will taste okay with all the spices on it. And then we turn our attentions to our salady bits. So what we have here is our 3 Tupperware containers, nice and cheap and cheerful. And all we're going to do is simply load them up with simple salad. I like to use salad when I'm preparing meals away from home, just because broccoli, cauliflower, things like that tend to smell a bit. So nothing major, just a little hand we've got some seasonal 4-leaf salad here. So we can just add a little bit to our 3 Tupperware pots. So we've got our salad in. We've used quite a lot of that, so I won't be using any of that. You know, times are hard and all that jazz. I'll then rip off a little bit of romaine hearts lettuce. Again, just 1 in each. Like I say, I use salad. It's easy, it's time efficient, it doesn't smell quite as bad as cooked veg. Anyway, so those 3 are added. So all chopped up, I'm just going to add 2 little bits to each meal. And 2 bits of tomato as well. It's all about the fresh fruit and veg. Right, so what we've got now is pretty balanced really, nice meal. We've got some lettuce, some salad, some tomatoes, cucumber, and then the final thing to add is going to be to cook up some green beans. Again, this pack will be perfect just to cook the whole pack, and again simply divide it by 3. So it really is just like you're making an absolute massive meal and dividing all the ingredients by 3. That's how to keep it simple, the JC way. So now we have the green beans all cooked. What I've done is just rinse them in cold water. It just makes it a lot quicker getting things sorted. So you just want to estimate roughly the portion sizes and just add them. You can do it a bit more elegantly than I am. I'm just literally chucking them in, and then there's just enough here for my meal that I'll be eating now, which, if you're interested, is tuna, sweet potato, green beans and salad. So I'll just bung them on my plate, and that's the veg all done. The eggs are done. They took about 10 minutes. What I do recommend to get the shell off is put cold water in them. This will not only cool down the egg, which will mean you can add it to your Tupperware quicker, but it will also hopefully make it easier to peel. Okay, so we've got our egg. Just tap it on the side, and there you have it. It peels a lot easier. So the secret to peeling an egg, I won't speak too soon in case it all starts to crumble beneath my hands, is just to soak it in cold water, and then it literally just tap it and it should just de-shell pretty easily, because there's nothing worse than when the eggs take absolutely ages. So that's 1 done. I'm going to do it for all 3. I'm not going to show you the second and third one because the likelihood is it won't have been as successful as this one. So I'm going to de-shell these, let them cool, and then slice them up into our salads. So the question now is, you've got them like this, but you're thinking, I don't know how many should be with each portion. If you're that precise, a bit like me, then all you have to do is get the scales out, get a plate, and you're just going to literally add all of the sweet potato. And be careful again here because it is rather hot. I'm just going to pile it on. The great thing about adding cinnamon to your sweet potato and chopping them up nice and small like this is they taste like breakfast cereal that I used to have when I was a little boy. Cinnamon toast or cinnamon crunch. Literally the smell and the taste, because of the sweetness of the sweet potato and the cinnamon. If you wanted to add a bit of Truvia or stevia, you've got yourself a delicious breakfast cereal. I might even give it a try if you dried these out a little bit more and popped it with some almond milk. That's an option. But anyway, we've almost got all of it on our plate, which is on the electric food scales. And then the great thing I can do is literally pop it on. So that's everything on, and it reads 527 grams. I know that I made enough for 4 portions, so I literally just divide 526 by 4, and that's simply what I get. So we're looking at 131 grams per serving. So you just want to reset back to 0 on the tear, and then you are literally going to pick it up. It's still rather warm, but then you're going to use the baking tray that we had before and just portion them out nicely, separating from each other. So once you've got 131, we'll then go to the next. So we just reset it again and start picking it up, and again finding a different part of the tray for the next portion. You could put it directly into the Tupperware, but like I say, I'd rather have it cool down a little bit, because there's nothing worse than having it all steam up and make your food soggy. So my recommendation is just to allow it to cool on the side, and makes it a lot easier. So that's that, and then the final portion. Is done. So there we have it. We've got our 4 portions to add to our Tupperware once it's cooled down, along with our turkey and our eggs. So the turkey's adequately cooled down now, and I've done the same measurements, and we require 75 grams per portion. So it's all done. Literally just pick it up and add it in. Like I say, this isn't a requirement. I mean, you know, I'm not competing in a competition. I don't need to do this realistically. But people want to stay on track of their, you know, nutrition, and it's goal setting and achieving goals. And this is a great way to ensure that, you know, you're giving yourself the best possible chances of success with your fitness journey. So it's not an essential, you know, it's not a necessity to reach your goals. You can eat by just buying things from the supermarket, making healthy decisions. But as I say, some people would rather do this, and I totally respect that. So do whatever makes you happy, do whatever suits your lifestyle, and respect others' decisions. If they do eat Tupperware, you know, out of Tupperware at work, you know, don't judge them for it. So that's another portion, and then the final one, you can bundle it in to here. So we've got all our turkey in our dishes. Next it's to add the egg. We have our egg. I like to chop it up. It's still slightly warm, but that's no worries. Just nice. As you can see, it's quite well done, the egg. Perfect for a salad. So while we're at it, this is the first one. Ultimately, you are just going to be eating it. It doesn't need to look the prettiest invention. I know I get quite a lot of stick for my presentation skills on Facebook and YouTube, so I'll try and make it look half decent. But anyway, these are all sliced and ready to go. So, last but not least, we add our sweet potato to each dish. Again, I'm not going to win anything for presentation, but that is our meal. And that's just to repeat for each one. So there you have it, 3 meals done. If I was to give any recommendation, if you're struggling with preparing your meals, I'd ask you, are you overcomplicating it? Are you trying to have chicken, turkey and tuna, sweet potato, quinoa and brown rice? Don't bother. It's a lot easier. I mean, you're still having a different meal for breakfast. If these are the 3 meals to have whilst you're out, if you have more than sort of the traditional 3 meals a day, just make it work for you. You can vary the ingredients to an extent, but don't cause yourself heartache, hours and effort, time better spent on other things. So keep it simple. Use similar ingredients as previously spoken, and find shortcuts for yourself. like I say, you know, I cook in bulk, I separate after. There's ways around it, there's ways to make it easier. This would probably take me, well, it would take me as long as it takes for the sweet potato to cook. So we're talking in 20 minutes I can have my 3 meals prepared for the next day. So make it work for you. That's ultimately it.